Hey, welcome back to Triple C, Candace's College Cooking, where I have the opportunity to teach you, the 20-something crowd, the basics and hacks of cooking, as well as how to impress your friends, roommates, or even a date with restaurant-worthy creations. I know you keep thinking to yourself, she keeps talking about this impress a date thing. I wonder if we're ever going to create a meal to impress a date. Well, today's the day. I'm going to teach you how to make pork schnitzel using some of the pork tenderloin we had left over from the stewed pork chop episode. Let's face it, when you cook something specifically for another person, specifically when you're interested in, you are putting yourself out there. You're making yourself vulnerable. Well, newsflash, chicks love that. So let me know how it goes in the comments. I'm cheering you on. Let's get the pork going. I'm gonna walk you through how to trim the pork and then pound the pork, all right? So we cut these pork chops, again, off the pork loin, and that's about 1 inch thick. Now we just need to pull this fat layer off of the pork and trim it up a little bit. So you can see it comes off pretty easily. And now I'm gonna use, again, a fillet knife. Again, make sure it's super sharp. And we're gonna trim up this pork. It is okay if you get a little bit of the pork with the fat. It is not gonna hurt anything. We're gonna pound this sucker thin and it's all gonna be good. All right, for date night tonight, we're actually gonna assume we're having a double date, all right? So we're gonna make 4 of these pork schnitzels. All right, so I've got the fat removed. Now I'm gonna pound these guys. Now, I've already pounded 3 others. I'm gonna pound this one. You can get a mallet like this. On one side it's got little tongs and on the other side it's flat. Or if you don't have one of these, you can actually just use a pan, all right? But since I have one, I'm gonna show you how to do this. You gotta really kind of get a little bit of your frustration out. So here we go. I know it's kind of loud, sorry guys. Okay. And you noticed I put a piece of parchment on top. You can use either parchment or you could use some saran wrap on top as well. You can put it on top and on bottom because this is a polypropylene cutting board. I just used it on the top. Okay, so you can see we got this thing pounded pretty thin. Now, here's what I want to tell you. Make sure and salt this, all right? I've already salted these couple that I have created ahead of time for expedience, all right? Okay, so now that we have our pork cutlets pounded out and we have them lightly salted, let me walk you through the dredge that we're gonna go through. This is a couple of tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We're gonna use about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna use a half a teaspoon of pepper. We're going to use a teaspoon of Cavender's Greek seasoning. Remember that from the Spice Island episode. And then also from the Spice Island episode, I pulverized a teaspoon of fennel seed using specifically a coffee grinder that I use just for spices. If you don't have a coffee grinder to use for spices, you can substitute a rubbed sage, about a teaspoon of rubbed sage as opposed to the fennel, but the fennel will give it a really super fragrant flavor. Also, I zested a half a lemon into this mixture and then moved that around with my fingers to make sure it was fully incorporated. So you've got that concoction. Again, you've got 3 eggs, lightly scrambled. And then in our last dish, I'm putting here what's called chicharrones, or pork rinds, if you live in certain areas. Specifically, this is Italian-style chicharrones. Look, when I was a kid, my sister used to love pork rinds, and I thought they were the most disgusting thing on the planet. Now, they act as a really good keto-friendly substitute to panko breadcrumbs. So alternatively, you can certainly use panko breadcrumbs. And in fact, if you're not watching your carbs, that's what I would suggest you do. But for me, since we're gonna eat this tonight, I'm gonna go with the chicharrones. All right, get a pan going with a good amount of olive oil over medium-high heat. And remember, I've salted these pork cutlets on their own. I also have salt in here. The salt is really important. If you're using panko, it's super important. The chicharrones have actually a lot of salt in them, so it's probably not as important to salt quite to the extent. So what you're going to do is you're going to lightly flour in our little flour mixture. Just want to get a light coating so that the pork cutlet's a little dried out, and so the egg and the panko mixture will stick to it. Then you're going to dip this into the egg mixture. And I'm using a fork to do this. When we get to the last step here with the breadcrumbs, most of the time I'll use my hands because candidly, you know, you kind of got to smush down that pork cutlet to really get those breadcrumbs worked in. All right. Give it a flip. Okay, it looks like our pan is good and hot. So we'll fry up our first schnitzel. You're gonna wanna let this go for probably 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and then we're gonna turn it out on a plate. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes. Let's flip this over and see how we're doing. That looks pretty nice. Now we'll give it another 1.5 to 2 minutes on this side before we pull it off the pan. Okay, so it's been a couple of more minutes. We can go ahead and take this one out of the pan. All right, and we'll put our pan aside. Now, look what I have left over. So you know who's gonna want that. That's right, roadshow. So let me just scramble up these eggs for my beautiful chocolate lab, and then we'll move on to our next phase of our meal. Time for me to be vulnerable. I'm pretty certain I'm gonna get some super strong criticism from my foodie friends for our side dish choice. With the pork, we're going to serve a riff on twice baked potatoes. But here's the hack. We're going to use instant mashed potatoes. But trust me, your date will never know that you're using instant mashed potatoes. I promise. All right, ignore the recipe on the back of the box. Here's how you're gonna make it. You're gonna bring 2 cups of liquid to a boil for 1 cup of the instant mashed potatoes. And that's what we're going to do for our party of 4. All right, so here's how I did the liquid. I did 1/2 cup of cream and 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And that's going to make this super creamy and super rich. You're gonna bring this to a boil, and you're gonna add a minimum of 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, so our liquid and our butter are almost to a boil. To that, we're going to add a teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and then we're gonna add a cup of the instant mashed potatoes. You can use a whisk and see how quickly this is gonna come together. We're gonna shut the heat off. And then I'm just gonna put this into a large bowl. Okay, to the potatoes, we're going to add 1 egg, raw egg. And you're gonna wanna mix that around and get that egg incorporated. The hot potatoes are basically gonna cook the egg, but still leave a nice creamy consistency. All right, then we're gonna add 2 ounces of cream cheese. We're gonna add between 1/4 cup and 1/2 cup, depending on what you like, of sour cream. And remember the hack I told you about sour cream. Store your sour cream upside down on a plate, and it's gonna last a whole lot longer in the refrigerator. All right, potatoes are coming together. Now to this, we're gonna add between 1/4 cup and 1/2 cup of cheese. This is specifically shredded cheddar and Monterey Jack, but honestly, you could add virtually any kind of cheese that you really like. You wanna save a little because we're gonna put it on top. All right, and then really important ingredient, do not forget the green onions. This is about 1/2 cup of chopped green onions, and that is gonna make a huge difference in the flavor of these potatoes. All right, let's just get that all incorporated. Now you can do a couple of things here. If you have some cute little ramekins like this or bowls that are oven proof, you can go ahead and put the potatoes into one of these bowls, or obviously multiple bowls. You're gonna serve 4 people, so you need 4 bowls. If you don't have something like that, you can certainly put them in just a serving bowl and cover that with cheese, and it will be fine when it's time to serve. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of cheese on top. And then I'll repeat that with the other 4 bowls, and then we'll be ready to roll. Okay, now that we have the meat and potatoes ready to go, we need something green. Here's my go-to green vegetable. Sauteed zucchini with a little bit of oregano and tomatoes, and you guessed it, more cheese. Or you can leave the cheese off. Alternatively, since we're having schnitzel, you could opt for some fresh arugula, which you can get in the produce section. It comes in a little plastic container or in a bag. I don't suggest you buy the bags, but buy the plastic container of fresh arugula. In Europe, they actually call it rocket. So yeah, you can impress your guest or your date with knowing that in Europe, arugula is rocket. Toss that with just a little bit of olive oil, probably a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of lemon juice, a little bit of salt and pepper, and you can serve that on top of the schnitzel. But I'm gonna show you guys real quick how to do my sauteed zucchini. So this was a whole zucchini. I cut the ends off and then cut it in half and cut this in half. And then you just want to slice the zucchini like so. Let's get our pan going. Again, a little medium-high heat, a little bit of olive oil. We'll put the zucchini into the saute pan. Now with zucchini, it's kind of like an onion. It's gonna sweat out a bit. So I will add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then I'm gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon of dried oregano. I'm gonna cover this and then I'm gonna slice my tomato. So this is a fresh tomato, and here's how I slice it. Cut it in half. Then you can cut out your core. See, there's a little bit of core in there, a little bit of something you don't want to eat, and you do that on both sides. And then you can cut it in half, cut the half in half, and then cut 3 times, so you have pretty large chunks of tomato. Half, cut in half, cut in half, and then in thirds. All right, so our tomato's ready to go. Let's see how our zucchini's doing. It's starting to release a little bit of the liquid, but it needs a little more time. Probably about 1.5 minutes with the lid on medium-high heat. But don't walk away. You wanna make sure your zucchini doesn't stick to the pan. So let it sweat out for a few more seconds, and then we're gonna add our tomatoes. Okay, so it's been about 1.5 minutes. Let's check on our zucchini. Looks like it's pretty well sweat out. You can see the zucchini's getting a little bit brown. Let's go ahead and add our tomato in. And then let's add just another little smidge of salt. Tomatoes always need salt. We need to give our zucchini and tomatoes probably about 1.5 minutes to finish cooking, and then we'll add the cheese. Okay, our zucchini and tomatoes are done. Let's go ahead and add our little bit of cheese, probably about, this looks like about 1/4 of a cup of shredded, again, cheddar and Monterey Jack, but again, you can use any cheese that you really like. Shut the heat off. All right, it's time to plate. I've got our schnitzel. I've got our nice twice baked potato riff. We're going to add a little bit of our cheesy zucchini and tomato. And then let me show you how to finish it off with a squeeze of lemon. I've got a whole lemon here. This is the way you cut a lemon when you're going to squeeze it on top of meat. Cut off the end, actually cut off both ends. Cut it down the middle. Give it just a little slice. Don't go all the way through. And then you cut this into 4 slices. And you know my rule on cutting, and I just violated it myself, but cut down the middle first and then the other 2 ends. Take your lemon, give it a squeeze on top of the schnitzel. And then we're gonna put just a little bit of salt and a squirt of olive oil on top of our schnitzel. Remember, you eat with your eyes first, so make sure your plate is beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Triple C. Remember, to share a meal is to share a life. I hope that you'll join me for our next episode. Have an awesome day. As always, if you found this episode informative, please subscribe to my channel, like this episode, and share on social. And remember, I'd love to hear how your date went in the comments.